Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope you have a great day. I just posted the message on my Facebook page, the recipe for regret. And I think it's safe to say we all have regrets in our lives. And we all have made decisions that we aren't proud of or that it was hard to accept. And speaking from experience, I just lived with shame and a sense of remorse, one that I couldn't get over or get past. And this message, Robert Madu, he's really funny and he's good, and he talked about Esau and Jacob, and how Esau gave away his birthright for food, that he was so hungry and famished that he traded off something so valuable and great in the moment because he was famished. And he gave us three different things that you should not do when you are making major decisions that can affect your future. And in reflection, like, seriously, we can do these things because we're so overwhelmed with grief, or we are wanting something so badly, and we're impulsive and we can't wait, and we just don't see hope, and so we take matters into our own hands. And I've made lots of decisions like that over the course of my life, and God has forgiven. He has shown grace and redeemed and restored. But it didn't come without a price, and it didn't come with a very long time of living in that remorse. So I want you to think over your life right now. Are there decisions that you're about to make, or that you need to make? And you can look at the decisions that you made in your past and say, oh, I made that decision because the power of why is very important in our lives, to really reflect and look at why we do things so that we don't repeat the pattern. Because cycles do get in our lives, and we can look from our past into our present and say, I did that then, and I did it again here, and I did it again here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And whatever that is for you, I don't know. We're all different. We all live in the flesh sometimes. We all sin. We are man with a sinful nature. So we do mess up. But God can help you when you get alone with Him. He can help you figure it out exactly where your weakness is, where your strongholds are, and in His strength, not yours, but with Him, He can help you overcome those strongholds and weaknesses that the enemy has used your whole entire life. And so there's 3 points that he talks about in making decisions and recipe for regret, that when you make your decisions and you're in one of these 3 states, most likely you are going to regret the decision that you made. The first one is in isolation. He talks about how you can't make decisions alone. Like, you have to go to godly people and counsel and surround yourself with those that are wise and who are walking with the Lord, or who have experienced things, and just say, this is what's going on. It's a community kind of thing. You're not making decisions that can change your entire course of your future based on just what you are thinking at the moment. So he said, do not make it in isolation. The second one that he talked about was, do not make it when you're tired. So Esau was hunting, And he came in and he was tired and he was famished and he was hungry. And Jacob, had been cooking and made some, I don't know, soup or something. And he was just so famished and so tired and so hungry. He's like, I will, he decides. So no one's around him giving him any guidance. Like, no, don't do that. You do not understand what you're doing here. He irrationally, just impulsively made the decision at that moment, because he was hungry, that he was going to trade this off. He wasn't thinking about the ramifications of doing that. He was just thinking, actually in the flesh, to fill his stomach, because he was hungry. And hungry isn't just about food. Okay, what are you hungry for? Are you hungry for affection? Are you hungry for attention? Are you hungry for love? Are you hungry for validation? Are you hungry for I don't know. In life, we can become hungry for a lot of different things. And I did a message on hungry can get you in trouble, or something like that. How hungry are you when you don't think? And so he truly was physically hungry, and he lost sight of exactly what he was doing. He made an impulsive decision when he was alone and when he was tired, because it's not like he was stupid. He was a hunter, okay? And he was smart, but he just wasn't thinking. Like, that had a grip on him. And I don't know what you're doing with your life or what situations you're in. I can only reflect on my own. And there was things that I needed that made me make decisions and choices that I did, and without thinking, how is this going to affect my future? And then later, being in it, I can see how the future was affected. And no, God gives grace, guys, and He blesses you even with the decisions. When you're His child and you make bad decisions, He still can give you blessings, and He can show you grace. I was a person that could never be okay with those decisions, because I hadn't really truly felt the forgiveness. I hadn't truly known the grace. That's not reason to say, oh, if I make the decision, God's going to make it all right. That is not what you want to do, because your will and His will are two different things. And when you're living in His will, your life is more apt to flourish and to be prosperous. And when you take on your own will, you're going to have strife, and you're going to have a lot of, I say, pain, because it was never meant for you. But even though you are His child, He can still bless you with blessings in your life, and cause you to have a good life. It's just things aren't going to be ideal. And you can't really always know or see those things at the moment. But and when you're making the decision, definitely you don't see the recourse of that. I don't know how many people who find themselves in situations where they're thinking, oh, if I do this, then that's going to happen, and my future's going to do this, and that'll affect this person and that person, this person. You don't do that. You are so in the moment, and you're not thinking. And you need to think hard about your decisions, because they don't just affect you. They affect everybody in your life, your circle. And you need to think. Don't be led astray by your flesh and by your decisions. And sometimes you have to make the hard decision, even when you don't want to also. And when you make those hard decisions, really get godly counsel and make sure that you're not going to make a decision that you regret. I'm sad by my last decision that I had to make in my life, but I'm not regretful. It's like I really feel like I did everything I could. And so, when you do that and when you take it before the Lord and you seek godly counsel and you have a peace that, like, I tried this and I tried that, and it just didn't work. And you just know that you really don't have a choice at that moment. Like, you do have a choice, but the choice is for wellness and health and a future of hope. And you just never know what your choices, how they affect other people too. I mean, like, just know that everything you do is interconnected with everything and everybody. And so the decision that you make is going to cause some other people to make decisions, and then that'll affect something else. And it's just really a snowball effect. And so that's why you should really seek godly counsel and wisdom when making choices, and don't listen to the enemy. He can speak very loudly, and you need to have a relationship with him, be close with him, and let God really help you make that decision. And I pray that people will be put in your path that can help you discern as well. And the last thing was, don't decide for immediate gratification. So, if you're tired, if you're lonely, that seems to be a lot of people's problems, is that they're weary and they're tired and they don't feel loved, and they just jump into things very quickly without, that person really being the one. And so, my advice is, like, guys, don't jump into a frying pan when you just got out of one. You need to really get with the Lord and spend a lot of time with him. Help him, help let him help you make decisions that are different for your life, that aren't a repeated cycle, that aren't instant gratification in the moment, or like, you really need to say, is this the person that God has for me? Because jumping into another relationship is worse than being alone. I haven't done that. I've been divorced now for almost 4 years. Well, not divorced, but separated a total of 4 years, I think, of just being in isolation by myself with just God. And I can honestly say that it's been really some good years of being alone. I have found myself. I know who I am in Christ. I know who he called me to be and who he made me. And I am aware. And I couldn't have done that if I allowed a relationship to, hide that. I don't know. Like, when you have certain strongholds or vices, or, some people just can't be alone. They jump in relationship after relationship after relationship, and it ends really in devastation because you're never really healing. You're just covering. You're covering all that pain with a Band-Aid and really have a bullet wound. So I spoke about this in another message about healing your heart, I think. But you've got to really do some hard work. And the decisions you make, if you're out of a relationship and you have a fresh start, and you choose, if you're choosing to do it again, it's a big word there, choose, then you need to really be discerning, and you really need to be thinking, and not just your thoughts, but really seeking God and his ways and what he wants for you. Because you can make a mistake. You can jump right back in, settling, settling for a counterfeit, someone that is never supposed to be there for you, because you're impatient. You want something and you want it now, and you just need that feeling of whatever. And I can say, you know, I'm handling a divorce care now. I'm facilitating one. And the best advice that I really have for anybody is don't get involved. Don't get involved with people. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt them. And you're not ready. The only way you're ready is when you do the hard work and you understand the whys and you come to grips with what you've done and your contribution and how you know, how looking ahead and moving forward looks, and being wise and aware, and just, yeah. So, yeah, not a dating expert, but I do know that you've got to heal. You've got to heal that broken heart, and someone else is not going to heal it for you. And I have no clue how this message got onto relationships, you know, but it did. And decision making is important. So I'm going to repeat that again. 1, do not make decisions in isolation. 2, do not make decisions when you're tired, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. 3, and do not make decisions for immediate gratification because you want it now. It's worth the wait, guys. Wait upon the Lord. For once in your life, wait upon the Lord. And you know, that's what I'm choosing to do. Wait upon the Lord. Whatever he has for me, it's in his due time. It's in his time. It's in, and that's okay. You can trust him. Trust him with your life. You can do that when you've screwed yours up so bad. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Have a good evening.